So, I don't know how, oh, okay, we have 15 minutes. To discuss this theme of implementing. My first question is how and what were the challenges for each of you to implement these new solutions that you have been implementing? First question. And the second one is how do you see in the future you could continue on implementing these, and how can you prevent it from threatening the traditional know-how, and how do you foresee that these technologies could in the future really marry in a good way with traditional know-how that we don't want to kill? So this time I'm going to start with you, Aliyah, since you're the only woman.
Okay, thank you. I'm in a very comfortable position in Adidas, is that there's a whole process, and it's not my job to bring my idea to the consumer. We have a whole organization for that. So honestly, I would not be able to advise you on how to bring these ideas to the market. I think if I bring it back to what I do, to my job, is where I also have an idea that I want to share with designers. And what I always find that communication is key. You need to talk to as many people as you can. You need to be as clear as you can about your idea. It really helps to have good materials, good pictures, a good story, especially a good story if you want to implement an idea and sell it to others. It's always good to, I think it's coming back a lot of times here, to work together with other people that have other skills that you don't have, and to come to a better quality. And I think especially the ideas that our Reshape contestants have, I would say reach out to a company that comes close to what you do and see if you can collaborate and work with them.
It's always about collaboration.
It is. It's the buzzword.
And Arturo, what about you? Because I think that the future of retail is such a big topic. Everyone's talking about it. Some say that retail is dead. Some others say that retail is not dead, but boring retail is. So how do you implement these new technologies to bring retail a new?
Okay, for us, the first question, for us the principal items was, or challenge, was to understanding the technology, to adapt the principal items of this technology. At second, how to design a plan, an extensive plan to localizate the principal benefits that we can develop and create in our value chain. Sorry, and obviously the third, the implementing of this new technology in our structure and organization. I think the most important challenge for us was to to educate our people in this new space of knowledge, and to explain clearly which will be the benefits for themselves, for the consumer, for the market, because we are a part of it, like our competitors, and to explain too the possibilities unlimited for the future in a new vision of concept that will possibility for us to create a new business model, but a new knowledge, no, a new mind in our industry. So,
Oh,
thank you.
all right.
Yes, this is
I have no idea what she's saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll make it quick.
okay. Yes, ma'am. Uh, um, I, but for us, it was a surprise when I was in advance to implementing this new technology, because we only report benefits. We short extremely the product manufacturing cycle. We amplified extraordinary the concept area
Okay.
to design, to developing new ideas, new proposals, and finally, for us, was and will be very important. Recognize the benefit in the reduce of cost productions and terms of scale technology. I think this is the most important point in our implementing.
Thank you. We'll
Process.
try to make it quick. So, Bradley, what about you? And it's really interesting, I think, to have these really different visions of
For the most fashion designers, is fucking horrible because of costs. Fashion designers always have the newest product, the newest material, find out and test, and it's never ready for the market. We tried it, the first flexible 3D printing with TPU. We had an idea that to narrow down couture and ready-to-wear merged together, that made to measure, that a client can have a body scan and have a first small jacket. For that, the boundary box was only this small, so you do still have hand stitching. The technology was there, but it could not be implemented in a full scale. So the costs were like 1,200 euros, only material cost. So to implement it, fashion ideas into the market, it takes a lot of time, more research time. Most 3D companies or innovation companies has scientists, researchers, and it took maybe 4 or 5 years before they developed the machine, and then they come to technology on the market, and then the designer has to work with it in a very short time, not to be overhauled in olderness, on that kind of stuff. So it is financial sometimes, and always because they want to work with the newest technology, it's not always ready to be implemented into the market. It's not ready for it, or the costs are too high to make it sure that it is sustainable or priceable for that way. So that's the most problems we had in the beginning.
Thank you. Very interesting. And so, what about you and the optical space?
Okay. So in our case, our main challenge has been to try to put together all the pieces of the technology that we had. We come more, as I said, from the technical part. And so what happened at the beginning is that 3D printing, you've seen that when we started in 2008. At that moment, 3D printing was not so mature. Many materials were not ready for real life use. So many things was prototyping. So that was one of the main challenges. The other one is that we have had to control very much all the parameters related to the design, how it translates, how it modulates when you actually print it into real things. Bear in mind that we actually produce personalized. We're trying to mass produce personalized objects, and that is not easy. So you try to make things that one by one is different, but everything has to fit perfectly. So the hinge or the temple or everything has to be exactly in place. So the main challenge is waiting for, just summarizing, the 3D technology to be mature enough to be ready for our field while we were putting together all the technology around it.
Well, thank you. So we still have a few minutes left. I have a weird question, but what would be your dream of technology to enhance your work? You were not prepared for this.
No, I wasn't. What would be my dream technology?
Yeah.
Well, like you said in the introduction, at the moment I'm working on generative design.
Yeah.
I think as much as you see obstacles, I see a lot of possibilities. I think it allows designers to be creative in many different levels. And even to be even more on the dark side, I think AI has enormous possibilities to change the way how we work. And yes, it can be a doom scenario, but I think if you turn it the way that you want it and use it in your benefit, it has endless possibilities. So for me, generative design, I feel like I'm only exploring the beginning, and there's so much still to learn. So I keep working on it. I keep.
Cool.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting, and I see a possible fight that could be really interesting.
No, it's not
I'd
a
like to
possible
confront
fight.
your visions about this algorithmic design. Like, what would you think? Does it like threaten the place of the designer, its work? Is it going to be like the creation of the machine and not of the designer? This is like some questions that are raised around
I think
technology.
we should ask Pau, because he has actually implemented it in his designs, right?
Well, one of the challenges that we had to face is how to maintain the spirit of the design while we were modifying it. But we needed to, because we needed to change the shape of the frame, but not changing the philosophy of the design. So that was something. So our algorithms try not to do what you were saying, to kill creativity. So we try to respect creativity, but still to add some technology to it, so that you can have still the philosophy of the design with your particular shape and size.
Yeah, I embrace technology as a tool, not as the end result in creativity. I think that's the difference. And for me, is that random chaos and using standard plugins or writing codes that could be to the randomly results is not for me a design process what is very fixed, as for me not a path where we can reshape new shapes, new materials as mankind, and otherwise creative education has no meaning. Then the individual designer has no meaning for me. So that's a different approach. Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. For us, I must to say that we discover the new culture of maker and do it yourself. So this was disrupting for us. For example, in the toy industry, a baby of 7 years old will have more ideas, more creative process at his brain, that the most important designer in the company. So, and if he has this maker culture and do it yourself, only need the technology at home, but and to produce. So employees out and a crash company, etc. For us, it's very important. Was very important. Discovered this point, and every disruptive technology create an excessive, for me, excessive expectation. Okay, that the time and results put you in the real time, real place, real reality. Okay. This is the end.
That'll be the word of the end.
No,
Oh no.
only one question. The most important lesson for us is this. It is not the consumer. It's not the consumer impose the product. It's the industry, the factory, and the company. They print the future. For us, it's very important because we put the client in an axis fundamental of our environment and business. But it's the industry, the company, the factory, the designers, the mind, the brand, hard working that produce this disruption. Okay?
Thank you. So that will be the word of the end, and I'm sure that you're all very thirsty, so we'll invite you for the closing cocktail. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I would like to close now this edition of Reshape, and I would like to do it with all of you, so with all my designers, with all the protagonists. So guys, if you can stay, actually, you come back here, don't go far away. It was very good to have all of you here, and I hope, I see some familiar faces that are here too, and I hope that I'm gonna see next year as well your faces, and I hope you will understand that you are now part of this ecosystem, and you will make the best out of it. And I really have to thank everyone, to thank the company of Intridustry, the organization of Intridustry, to thank FIRA, and particularly I would like to thank my collaborators. So for me, it's very important to start from Laura Civetti, who has been helping me so much in the last months. So if you can come here in the stage, I have some flowers for you. We have some flowers for you. So let's make it short. I guess you are all very tired, but let me give a kiss to Laura first. Okay, so Tony, you can come here too, and all you guys, please come in the stage, and we're gonna take a last picture all together and have a drink. Thank you.